Here's hoping this is working. I had a freeze up on the visual, which sometimes happens to me when I. That's what we want up there. There it is. I have multiple cameras, and then when I switch over, sometimes it freezes. And just when I started this stupid thing, it froze, and then I had to go back in and restart it. And what can I say? There's always something with me. Welcome to Aaron Live 528, 1920. 1920? Wow, let's see, 1920. That would have been the roaring 20s. How about 2020? Anyway, okay, let's start all over. Hey, I'm Aaron Lopresti. Welcome to Aaron Live. Today we're going to take a look at a few things. I've been working on a Captain America print, and it's almost completely done. I wanted to show you what it kind of looked like on screen in Photoshop before I put the finishing touches on it. But that print, the idea is that's going to be available when I do AaronCon 3, which is going to be the second week of June, give or take a few days. And so I want to have that available. So I got to get it to the printer, which means I got to get it finished. So I'm almost done with it. I'm going to take a quick look at that. I'm going to show you some Kit Carter pages that maybe you haven't seen. And then we're going to do a sketch in a sketchbook. So it's just an episode that's just full of action. So let's get to it. Let's see if anybody's here, first of all. Here we go. Johnny Fitz is here. Yo, Johnny. Lloyd Delagarde. Is it Delagarde or Delagarde? Anyway, hello, Lloyd. Thanks for joining us. I am well, Johnny. Thank you. Stephen Ng is here. Thanks, Steve, for coming by. And Guy Colston has joined us. So that's like, what, 5 of us? 6 of us, if you count me? Let's have a party. Let's do this. Okay, so what I want to show you first is this Captain America print I've been working on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to magically turn the camera over here. This probably isn't the best way to do this, but you're just going to have to live with it because it looks very hot in the screen. But, oops, let me get this over here. These colors are very vibrant on the screen, obviously, but they're not really that vibrant in real life. I'm going to try and tone the screen down just a little bit so we can maybe see these more accurately. Let's see what the old display says. Let's see if we turn down the brightness, what happens. That's a little bit better. We'll go with that for right now. I'm going to zoom in here and take a quick look at what we've got going on. That's not too bad. It's a little hot, but you get the idea. Let me move this camera up a little bit here. All right, there we go. Crank that down just a bit. We'll go just a little bit out. Oh, let's see. Okay. So anyway, I'm sure my banner's in the way. I'm not looking at the banner right now, or looking at the screen with the banner on it. But I think you can probably see we've got MODOK up here, of course, Captain America, Baron Zemo, the infamous Yellow Claw, Batroc the Leaper, Madam Hydra, the Red Skull, of course, the Nightshade. I started this out basically as an orange-blue complementary piece, with the blue, of course, being the focal point of the color here in Captain America. And the rest it looks yellow on the screen, but it's more of a yellowish orange gold kind of color for the background. That's going to be adjusted. And I'm probably going to knock out the background characters so that they're a little bit darker, like maybe putting a 15% blue over the entire background. What that'll do is sort of gray the colors just a little bit so that Cap stands out more. Because right now he's just kind of the same focus as everybody else in terms of the intensity of the color. So, and again, these reds and such are way hot. This I do a much more subtle coloring job than that. I don't really like garish, hot, glowing colors, and that's kind of what this looks like as you look at the screen, and it doesn't really look that way. But I'll obviously, when I get these to the printer and get these printed up after I get it done, I'll have these on hand for ErinCon 3, and you'll actually be able to see what the print looks like, and you'll get a much better idea, or clearer idea of what it looks like. Oops. Now I got to find the right screen again. There we go. Oh, look at that, man. That's so trippy. It's like a dolly painting or something. Anyway, okay. Enough of that foolishness. So anyway, that's my cap. Not my kneecap, but my Captain America. What I wanted to show you guys too was, just really quickly, I guess the last show I did, we sort of previewed the Kit Carter launch for my webpage, where Kit Carter is now available for free in glorious black and white on my blog post on my webpage. I want to give you guys a quick look. Some of you that haven't seen the color ones, and the only way you get to see the color ones and read the color ones is if you buy the limited edition Kit Carter story print. So, but I wanted to show you the original art anyway from those stories that are on the protected page. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Guy, thank you, says it looks freaking amazing. You know, when someone says that, yeah, see, you got to put that up on screen. He was referring to the Captain America print, I'm sure. John Smith is here. Damon Anthus has joined us. Thank you, Damon, for coming by. Appreciate it. Johnny, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. And Humphrey Bear, not to be related, not to be confused with Humphrey Bogart, wants to know if Nighthawk is here. And as far, I don't know. I don't think so. He hasn't chimed in if he is. Trusty Sidekick's here. Hello, friends. Thank you, Trusty Sidekick, for joining us. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is episode number 1 of Kit Carter, Galactic Ranger, featuring the Molten Menace there. And, of course, her sidekick, Merv the Astro Chimp, who is not in episode 7. He's coming back to join us, though. But so that was the very first Kit Carter strip I did. And that's the story print. And that's one of the ones that's on the protected website. Then you've got this, which is episode 2. And that's Kit and her boss, Captain something or other. I can't remember. It's a funny name, though. At least I thought it was. And there's a little Merv appearance as well. This is 3, where we first meet Zing the Zealous. He's looking at a astro projection of Kit Carter and getting the news from his advisor there that Kit Carter is hunting him down. And he's imagining perhaps a romantic interlude with Kit, as any good villain would do. This is episode 4, I think, or no, 1, 2, 3. Yep, 4. Here we have Kit and Merv heading off into space to capture Zing, the Zealous. Okay. Episode 5. They are actually landed on Zing's planet. There's his compound there in the background, and they're formulating their plan, Kit and Merv are, and how to take down Zing. And then in episode 6, which is the last color episode, Kit's out there on her own as Merv waits back in the ship, and she gets attacked by the Krogs, which are the watchdogs of Zing the Zealous there on the planet. And she gets attacked and then basically captured by the group. And then, as you'll recall, this was episode 7. This is the first one that you can read if you don't own the story print. This is in black and white, of course, with all the word balloons on my webpage blog right now for your reading pleasure. In fact, How about that? Kid Carter Galactic Ranger on the scroll on the bottom says it all. So anyway, you can check this out. As soon as I finish that cap piece, which will be tonight, I think, the print, I'm going to go to finishing or working on episode 8 of Kit Carter, which is already penciled. So I got to tighten it up a little bit and then ink it. But so that will be coming soon to a blog page near you. Actually, just my blog page. So let's get to it. As I really need a cameraman. I need a bigger crew than just me. You know, my Aaron Live banner is sort of getting in the way, but all right. So here's the thing with this. Well, I'll tell you about it in just a minute, actually. I am going to draw the Green Goblin. And why shouldn't I? At least that's kind of my my take on the whole thing. I'm not even gonna, well, actually I am going. I was gonna say I'm not even gonna blue line it, but I am. So I guess I just made myself out to be a liar, but at least I told you that I was lying. So it's kind of like changing your mind. It's not really lying. What did George Costanza say? It's not a lie if you believe it. So anyway, so I'm going to do my take on the Green Goblin. I am a huge Spider-Man fan. Well, I should say I used to be. When I was a kid, I was a huge Spider-Man fan, and that was, you know, that was the meat of my comic collection, was Spider-Man comics. And I have since sold them, though, which helped pay for some remodeling in the kitchen, but kind of wish I had them again. Isn't that the way it always goes? You think you, oh yeah, I'll sell that. It's no big deal. And then you, after you've sold it, you're like, I actually had a really nice Wrightson original that I sold too. You might think about making the banner a little smaller. I don't know. I don't even know if I can do that. Can I do that? I don't think I can. I can hide it and just say Aaron Lopresti. Let's do that. Okay. Okay, Lauren. Have your way. Okay. So we're going to do the Goblin here. I always end up doing these things so big they get away from me. And I always wanted to kind of like do his hat, but we'll have it come down here like this. Tell you, man, it's like almost 90 degrees today. Me being in an upstairs studio, it's a little bit warm. But I'm not going to complain because I'd much rather have the heat than the rain, which we normally get all the time. Okay. I keep my eye on the screen a little bit here, so make sure I don't get off the screen while I'm sketching. There's so many incarnations of the Goblin anymore. I used to, when I did it or drew him, I would always draw the classic version. I mean, I tend to go that route. Whenever I'm doing characters, I always end up most likely doing the classic version of them. because that's what I grew up on. So that's what I know, and that's what I'm familiar with, and that's what I, quite frankly, like. There's been so many redesigns of this character, and some of them have been pretty good. So I kind of get torn when I do the character if I should, put a little of my own personality in there, which I guess I'm doing here, because that nose is pretty goblin-y, but it's not really what he used to look like back in the Ditko and Romita days. And some people do the big eyes, some people do the small eyes. I'm doing sort of medium-sized eyes. There's a great video floating around on, probably on YouTube. I can't remember where I saw it at, but it actually had the original Goblin mask that they were going to use in the very first Spider-Man film with Tobey Maguire, and it is brilliant. But they didn't use it because I guess they figured it was too scary looking. But if you haven't seen that video, go try and hunt that down on YouTube. It's really amazing. It's what they should have done, and it's unfortunate they didn't do it. Guy says, I feel you on selling your Spider-Man collection. I paid for a divorce with mine. Oh my goodness. Oops, that's probably too much information. I'm hoping that I don't have to use my collection to pay for my daughter's college education. So far, so good, but I've got her first semester paid for of year one, so we'll see how it goes. But I got frustrated one time because I knew I would never get Spider-Man #1, and so I was like, and I had the collection for a long time. I basically had Spider-Man 2 and up, and I was like, why? I'm never going to complete this. So we needed the money for the kitchen remodel, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sell it. Maybe just to prove that I could actually part with it. And so I did it. I don't know. I don't sit around regretting it, but, and I did pretty well on the prices I got for it, but man, the prices on some of those Spideys now are like, wow, twice what I got when I sold it. And I thought I did pretty well when I sold it. So, but that's always going to happen whenever you sell it. 5 years later, they're going to be worth more, and you're going to go, oh, if I'd only held on to it for 5 more years. But that doesn't keep me from buying other comics. So I just have not been, I have never bought any more Spider-Man because I had them all, and it's kind of like I'm not going to go back and start that all over again. Okay. I guess we'll link this guy. All right, now here's the deal on this. For those of you who are still watching and listening and paying attention, I haven't sold a sketchbook in a week. So this is not for anybody, but it can be yours if you're interested. Free shipping, so just $40 if you're the first one to type in and say that you want it on the message board here. So I'll give it to the first person who wants it. Free shipping for this Green Goblin in a sketchbook if you want it. If you don't, I will offer it up to Facebook and Twitter for those who have not joined us on this, but you guys get first crack at it. But I had nothing to draw because I'm working on Justice League and I can't obviously show you those pages as much as I would like to. So I didn't really have anything to draw, so I had to do a live feed and do something. So I figured, well, you know what? I'll do this. Guy Colston says me means you want the book, I assume, right? Is that what you're saying, Guy? Give Guy a chance to respond. He says he'll take the sketchbook, and I'm not even done with it, but it's going to be really cool. So and you get to see it formed right before your very eyes. Which reminds me, I need to switch my banner to this. There we go. All right, Guy, you got it. Thanks, man. I just finished a Swamp Thing commission, 11 by 17, a big one. And it turned out really, really nice, but I can't show you guys because the guy I did it for hasn't even seen it yet. So I can't reveal it until he actually gets it. And he wants to kind of be surprised when it shows up in the mail. So I'm going to keep it under wraps until he sees it. Mike Miller has joined us and says, yo, money. He always says stuff that I don't really understand what he means. I'm too old. I'm not hip anymore. Like Mike Miller's a hip dude, and I'm just not. And Mike just laughs. Doesn't explain himself. He just laughs. That's fine. When I do his drawn and quartered show on Wednesday nights, I get mocked for being an old man in there anyway. So, but it's always much sweeter because I generally win the competition. So, you know, I get my revenge. They make fun of me, but I walk away with the trophy. And he knows it's true. Although I will say Mike's gotten robbed a few times. He had some pretty good sketches and he didn't get the victory. So I think the crowd was, they favor the guest star or the guest star. That sounded pretty pretentious, but the guest on the show. Wow, look at that blinding light coming in from the window. Ooh, this is going to be cool. You can't explain hip to boomers, Grandpa. Am I technically a boomer? I was born in 1964. I mean, I guess that's technically the tail end of the baby boom, but the war was over in 45. So I don't know how 20 years after the war was over, I can be classified as a baby boomer, but I guess I am. Lloyd says, us older guys never understand the younger generation, right? Isn't it the truth? Mike, you get robbed a lot. Let's not get carried away. I mean, occasionally you get robbed, but look at that. Does anybody even read Spider-Man anymore? I mean, I know people read it, but anybody that's like actually on right now? Because I'm curious if it's any good. A lot of stuff I've seen in it has not. I'm going to try and scoot over here a little bit so I get out of that really hot streak of light that keeps coming in through my window behind me. There we go. Cool. Oh my gosh. Okay. Matthew Hurwitz just joined me. He was one of my college roommates at USC the first year I went there. We applied for housing, student housing, and they had like these apartments that were sort of a little bit off campus. And they basically stuck 4 guys together who did not know each other at all. And we became fast friends, though, and had quite a good time that first year of college there. So it's nice. Matt, thanks for stopping by and saying hi. What is the line? Oh, let's see. Guy Colson said, I was born in 61 and consider myself a boomer. Oh, I see. Okay, well. I've been categorized as that, but I don't know. I don't know if I like it. I think it's just because they don't have enough like generational names for groups. You know, they didn't really start that until, what was it? Generation X or And then it just sort of, every decade they've given a new name to the next generation. And so we're just all kind of got grouped together as boomers, I think, even though I don't really think it's all that accurate. Let's see what's happening there. It's coming together. For a while there, I was selling a ton of these really quickly. And so I had like several of these to do a day. And it was like, when I get done working on my page, which really feels a lot like work, because I guess because you're getting paid for it, so therefore it becomes like work. But I always kind of look forward to doing a couple, headshot drawings in these sketchbooks that kind of just sort of relax a little bit. And I haven't done any for like a week. I kind of miss it. But I haven't been really pushing the books either. So that's my own fault, I guess. So this is my, it's my promotion to get a sketchbook if you don't have one. I know I got 16 people watching on YouTube right now, but that doesn't give me the number of people that are on Facebook watching, I don't think. So it could be a bunch of people going, wow, I need to get one of those books right now. And they're saying, but how? How do I get one? And then I put that down there on the scroll, and suddenly everything becomes clear. So anyway, ErinCon coming up in the second week of June. That's going to be just a 2-day event. And then when I say 2 days, I'm not going to be on camera for 2 straight days. Wouldn't that be brutal? Do it like a regular con and be on the air for 16 hours a day. Kristen Grant says currently 9. I got to catch up. Carl says Goblin looks pretty sinister. Thank you. Currently 9. Kristen, you're gonna have to. I'm not caught up. I don't know what you're talking about. You're sliding one over my head. The other thing is, you guys, I don't really pay attention to what I say, so I'm just rambling on, and you could be commenting on something I said, and I'm like, what are they talking about? What did I just say? What are you gonna do? I have a hard time walking and chewing gum at the same time, and when I'm drawing, trying to, have an intelligent conversation or monologue or whatever you want to call this. This is the first video of yours I've seen. Is this a pretty regular deal? Carl, yeah, I mean, I haven't scheduled. I do probably one a week generally, but I don't really schedule the time because I still haven't figured out what the best time to do it is. Because I have a lot of friends who obviously do YouTube videos and live streams and stuff. And I try not to conflict with them. But if I do it in the afternoon, then a lot of people are still working or whatever. And then if I do it in the evening, then I'm going to be worried about people on the East Coast being too late. So Thursday actually seems like it's probably the best day to do them. So I really haven't answered your question, Carl, except to say that, yeah, I do them regularly. I've got a YouTube channel, and I would encourage you to subscribe to it, because I think you get a notice then when I go live. I try to post it on Facebook and Twitter, several hours before I go on to kind of give people a heads up. But I have not. All the ones I've done previously are on my YouTube channel right now that you can watch at any time, along with my other videos that aren't live that I, actually put together and edit, which doesn't necessarily make them any better, but they do have like a formal intro and things like that. They're usually processed videos of me drawing, or occasionally me talking about comics, but mostly me drawing and doing step-by-step stuff. But maybe I will start to, schedule these on Thursday afternoon or evenings, early evenings like this. So we can all plan our schedule around it. The other thing is, it's like, I got to figure out something to draw sometimes too. Like I said, if I don't have a sketchbook, I can't just come on here and not draw. That's kind of the whole purpose. So I got to get a little more organized. This Justice League assignment, though, is just really tough. It's really time consuming. And, I never thought I would be complaining about being on Justice League. And I'm not complaining. It's just a fact. It's just a lot of work. And so I never really, oh, sorry about that. That was my mouse crashing and burning. So I never really know when I'm going to have free time to do this and when I'm not. So I'm very unpredictable, which is probably not a great way to do these live streams either. I think people like to know, okay, when you're going to be on, and are you going to be doing something that's actually worth watching? I think I've said this many times before, but man, when you're drawing a monster or something really ugly, you can get a little crazy with the line work because it seems to suit it. Whereas if I'm drawing a female character or somebody that's supposed to be pretty or handsome or whatever, it's kind of like I obviously don't put the lines on the face like I do on these things. Well, let's see. Carl's got me all right. Okay. Humphrey Bear says WB. I'm guessing that doesn't mean Warner Brothers. See, that's another one of my problems. Is like people use like internet code, and I don't know what that. I don't even half the time have no clue what that means. They say half the time. I should have said all the time. I have no clue what that means. Well, that's getting kind of fun. I'm doing a little extra work on this because it was, it was just kind of a special thing here. And I love the Green Goblin, so, why not do a little more on it? Let's see. BM, oh, Humphrey Bear says code. WB is code. Like, okay, Mike, that's a great support. Here we go. I'll put you up here because you're so funny. Why isn't this going up? That should be going on. Oh, there it is. There you go. That's the kind of abuse that I have to endure, ladies and gentlemen. I get that from my daughter at home, and now I have to get it online too. It's terrible. Okay, I want to do just a little bit more on this guy, and then we're going to call it good. I will flip this around so it's like right side up so you guys can actually see it when I'm done. Give him his little goblin eyelashes. Green Goblin and the Joker are really not that far apart, are they? Okay. I think that's pretty good. Let's take a look, shall we? Oops. There it is. The Scary Green Goblin. Okay, so let me give a quick plug here. What I'm drawing in is this book called Raw Imagination. It's 20 years of sketches by me. There's my name right there that proves it. It's a hardcover, not some flimsy soft cover. This is a hardcover. It has a spine with writing on it. That's how you know it's a real book. And it has a drawing on the back and my Cold Crocodile Press logo, which, you know, you only get that on stuff printed by me. That's my daughter, actually, posed for that years ago. She's 18 and graduating high school. And this is back, I think I drew this when she was in, kindergarten maybe, or first or second grade. So it was a while ago. Time flies. Anyway, these are available for $40 plus $5 shipping if you want a sketch inside. You can get a sketch inside, just like this one that I'm doing for Guy Colston with the Green Goblin. So there it is. And then what I do is I sign it to authenticate it. You guys are all witnesses. You're all my CGC witnesses for this as I sign that. Now, because I did this off the kind of off the cuff here, I don't have a clue to which number this is. I got to find my bat book that has my numbers in it without knocking everything over. All right, so here's my bat book. It has all the secret information inside. Ooh, this is actually number 160. So who am I doing this for? Oh, it was Guy Colston, wasn't it? I lost my, yes, Guy, there you are. Now, Guy, you've got one before, haven't you? Okay, that's Green Goblin. All righty. All right, Guy, so you get this for 40 bucks because I said I'd pick up shipping on it. What a deal. You get number 160. So it's a nice little even number there. So there we have it. How exciting. Well, I wish I had more stuff to show you guys. We'll take a look at the inside of the old sketchbook here. This is good stuff. And oh, excuse the back of my head. It's got that fresh printed smell because these books, I haven't, obviously this is the first time I've opened this book. It's brand new, just right out of the box. And it smells like printing. That's a great smell. It's almost as good as the smell of old newsprint on comics. But anyway, I would encourage you guys to get in touch with me if you'd like one of these books. If you are just interested in, let's move this back. And there's my knees. Probably don't need to see those. I don't know. They may be better than looking at my face, though. So anyway, am I on? Yeah, so you can come by. I do these once a week, the live shows. Try and find something to draw. It's usually in my sketchbook, but not necessarily always. I've got some sketches I'm going to be doing on the ErinCon 3, which is the second week of June. I haven't nailed down the date yet, but I'll let everybody know way in advance on social media before I do that. And then I'll be doing 11 by 14 sketches. We'll be selling prints and books, you know, free shipping. I'll be premiering the Captain America print. We'll also have some Wonder Woman prints and stuff that are also available. Basically, the same stuff that you'd see at a Comic-Con if you went and visited me are going to be there available, and for that weekend only for no shipping charges, which is pretty fabulous. So anyway, that's all I got for this trip. I want to thank everybody again for joining me. I always appreciate having at least a few people drop in to watch what I'm doing. And I want to remind everybody to keep in mind to look out for Justice League 48, 49, and 50, 50 being the double-sized anniversary issue, I guess. I know it's double-sized, but I guess it's the anniversary issue because it's 50. Um, I don't know if Justice League is still bi-weekly or not. I have no idea because I really don't ask those questions. I just get my script and draw. So anyway, those will be coming out. I know 50 comes out in August. I don't know if the other ones are 2 weeks apart prior to that, or if they're a month apart prior to that. I don't know. But 48, 49, and 50. So I appreciate you guys checking those out. There's some cool stuff in there. And beyond that, I guess I will see you guys next time. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch you later. Thanks again for joining me.